We're looking at the word which means time in this video tutorial, and it's the sort of time that you use with break time. It's pronounced jikan, and we're going to have a look at each individual kanji to learn how to write it. So let's start with ji. This is the kanji ji. It also has a basic or core meaning of time, but it's the ji that you put after a number to mean o'clock. So if you want to say hachi ji, which is 8 o'clock, this would be the kanji that you would use. It's also the first kanji of our word, jikan, time, as in break time. And it consists of two easily identifiable elements, and they are on the left, the sun, and on the right, the kanji, which means temple. And the right-hand element, temple, can be further broken into two elements, and they are on top, dirt, or by association, land or a place, and underneath is a pictogram of a hand, which has come to mean measurement. So a place where you measure things became a temple. Now, if you don't believe me, let's have a look at the ancient form of this character, and you might be able to recognize those elements. Now, this is what the character looked like in ancient times. The top two are about 2,000 years old, and then the ones below are up to 3,000 years old. And in each case, you could identify that sun element, can't you? And sometimes it's quite round, like a real sun. Now, the right-hand side can be seen very clearly in this kanji here. And you can see on top, there's a kind of a bush type thing growing up. That's the bit that means land or place. And underneath there's a hand there going towards the left, and then another line. Together they mean to measure. So let's get back to the kanji as it looks like today. So you should be able to recognize the sun on the left and the temple on the right. Let's look at the stroke order. So the sun here goes down on the left because it's a box shape, isn't it? And we always use this stroke order. Across and around on the right without taking your pen off the paper. Middle strokes go next, left to right, and close the box off, left to right. Next we're going to do the right hand element. That's the one that means temple, and it consists of two separate parts. So on the top we've got the part which means place or dirt. So we go across, that represents the two little leaves growing out of the stalk which we're drawing here, going down. And then finally, this cross stroke represents the earth or the dirt that little plant is growing in. So there on the top we have dirt, or by extension place. And then below it we have what used to be a hand. That's a cross, straight down with an optional tick on the bottom and an extra line. Now that line is the extra bit which indicates measurement. So you've got a hand and a line, that's measurement. Put it together with ground or dirt or place, and you get measurement at a place that equals a temple, and you attach that to the sun, and you've got temple and a sun. Of course, time is in fact the passage of the sun across the sky, and that's often measured and recorded at temples. So there we have chi, with a core meaning of time, but it doesn't yet mean the word time that we need to say break time. For that word, we need to add an extra kanji. And here it is, it's the kanji kan, and it means a period. So it's a time period. Now this is actually a picture of a gate around the outside and a sun peeking through the middle. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you the picture of the gate as it used to be in ancient times. Now you can see very clearly that that's a pictograph of a pair of gates. Just have a look at those beautiful ancient Chinese gates. They also look a little bit like those bar gates that you get in Western films, but whichever way you look at it, they're definitely gates. Now you draw a sun peeking through the middle of those gates, and that represents the period between the two gates, the distance between the two gates, and by extension, period. Let's have a look at the stroke order. It's a little unusual, although it does follow a basic rule. So the left-hand side, we're going to go all the way down on the left, just like we would with a normal box. But the box doesn't go all the way around on the right, it actually only goes around and down this far. Then we do the middle stroke, just like we would with a normal size box, left to right, and we're going to close the box left to right. Then we're going to do the other side of the gate, again down on the left, across and round on the right. Of course, all the way down we go with an optional tick. Strokes in the middle go next, left to right, and close the box left to right. Now we pop our sun in the middle, again down on the left, across and round on the right without taking our pen off. Middle stroke goes left to right, and close the box off left to right. And there's our sun peeking between the two gates, indicating a period of time. Now we pop those two together and we get jikan. Here's our ji, pop our sun in on the left, then in goes the top element of our temple, that means dirt or ground. Then we pop in our hand, across, down, and our extra stroke. There we have our temple, and that all makes ji, with the core meaning of time. And all we need to do now is add kan. So we're going to draw our gate first, down on the left, around, middle stroke, bottom stroke, and down on the right, around, optional tick, middle stroke, lower stroke, finishing with our sun in the middle, poking through, and that finishes our time word jikan.